In America's Family this morning, if you think kids are cursing a lot more these days, a new study says, in fact, you are right. More kids are saying dirty words at earlier ages, sometimes as young as 2. This is the earliest in at least 3 decades, according to a new study.
Fudge.
Only I didn't say fudge.
Ralphie really said it.
I said the word, the big one.
But in A Christmas Story, Ralphie was the ripe old age of 9. Today, new research shows that kids are starting to swear much earlier, and perhaps most startlingly, children as young as 2 are dropping the F-bomb.
I was fighting with my sister, and I said a bad word to her. I know I didn't learn it in school.
Turns out it may have been at home. In fact, 2/3 of adults with no swear policies for their kids actually break their own rules at home.
My 3-year-old says what I say.
Does mommy sometimes say bad words?
Maybe the earmuff strategy from the movie Old School will work.
All you gotta do is say earmuffs to them. Earmuffs. They can say whatever you want.
It brings a whole new meaning to potty training.
They should take some soap, put some hot sauce in the soap, and then you put it in your parents' mouth.
Is that the best strategy? We'll find out, because we've got an expert here who's an expert in child and teen development. Her name is Dr. Robyn Silverman. Thank you very much for coming in, Robyn. We appreciate it. So who's to blame here? Is it the parents?
Well, when we look at the media, it's coming in surround sound. We've got TV, we've got the internet, we've got technology, and it's become more normalized. But of course, it's not going to be delivered to children just through the media. It's got to be delivered by a trusted source, and perhaps that's parents or older teens, friends, peers, anybody like that.
So what do you recommend? Do you think earmuffs is the best strategy?
That could be a good idea. Well, when we look at cursing in the household, we need to actually look at our own behavior. Are we using those swear words? Are we using media that has a lot of swear words in it? If we are, then we need to curb it. And we also need to have rules and consequences around swearing if we don't want to hear them. So what's the rule in your house? Are you remaining consistent? And are you underscoring your values of respect, impulse control, and using proper words?
So, but the problem can be that you can set some rules, but then if you're breaking them in front of the children...
Right, because you're the trusted source, right? If you're using them, then they become the normal language of your household. So if you don't want to hear them, you need to make sure that everybody is using the same rule, not just the children, but father, mother, and everybody else who comes into your household.
So were you at all surprised by the results of this new study showing that kids as young as 2 are increasingly using the F word?
I'm not surprised. As I said, things have become normalized. So we hear it in the media, but even things like WTF. I mean, how much do we hear that or that we see that in technology to the point where it's become commonplace, it's become its own entity, it's lost its vulgarity almost, and we think it's maybe funny instead of being alarmed by it.
So what are the consequences that should be put in place for a child if they break the no cursing rule at home?
Well, it's going to be different for different parents, whether it's a timeout or a loss of privilege. You're going to make that decision for yourself. Is it a major offense? Are you extremely offended by it, or are you only slightly offended by it? Also, you want to make sure as a parent, if you hear it the first time, the child's just happened to overhear it and they repeat it, don't go crazy. If you fly off the deep end, your child is going to know that's a hot button I can press.
Right, that's a weapon for the arsenal.
Oh boy, should I use that again? Because I'm going to get a big reaction.
Doctor, thank you very much. We really appreciate your guidance this morning. You notice I didn't use any bad words in that entire interview.
I do appreciate
Gold
that.
star for me. Coming up here on Good Morning America this Saturday morning.